You think a story ends with death? But what if the dead suddenly speak? Tonight the line between life and death is about to shatter. It started with a body, found in a burned-out car off a remote stretch of Route 19 outside Gainesville, Florida, March 3, 2018. The body was burned beyond recognition. Dental records, they said, were a match. The victim, Evan Bledsoe, 32, a systems analyst with no criminal history, single, no children, he lived alone, quiet life, declared legally dead within 4 weeks. Family held a funeral, closed casket, end of story, or so everyone thought. Fast forward 2 years. April 17, 2020, a local AM radio station in Tampa, WZFT 1340, was airing a live call-in segment on unsolved disappearances. At 11:16 p.m., a male caller came on the line. He refused to give a name, his voice was calm, measured, then he said something that stopped the host mid-sentence.
They thought the body was mine. It wasn't. I'm still here.
The host laughed nervously until the man added,
Tell my sister, I didn't mean to disappear.
Then the line went dead. The segment went viral within hours, and here's where the mystery deepens. Because Evan Bledsoe's only sibling, Sarah Bledsoe, heard the broadcast, and she recognized the voice.
It was Evan. I'd swear on my life. The way he spoke, the way he paused between sentences. That was him, my brother.
The station released the call audio. Voice analysts compared it with known samples of Evan from voicemail and work recordings. There was a 94% match. But it wasn't definitive. The problem? The original body was buried. No DNA was taken. At the time, authorities believed they didn't need it. The car was Evan's, his wallet was inside, his dental work matched. But now, doubts began to surface.
There was always something that didn't sit right. The body's height didn't quite match Evan's driver's license, but we chalked it up to post-mortem damage. Now, I'm not so sure.
They exhumed the body. DNA tests revealed a shocking truth. The remains were not Evan Bledsoe's. They belonged to a 36-year-old drifter named Colin Price, last seen 3 counties away. So how did Colin end up in Evan's car? And more importantly, where had Evan been for 2 years? No known criminal record, no financial activity, no passport use, no digital trace. It was as if Evan had just ceased to exist, until that single chilling phone call. Authorities tried tracing the number. It pinged off a tower in rural Alabama, but it was a burner phone, purchased with cash, no camera footage, no fingerprints. Then came the second call, June 12, 2020, this time to a podcast host who'd covered Evan's case.
They found the wrong body, I told you.
Host asks Evan, why did you vanish?
I wasn't safe, I'm still not, don't look for me.
Click. Was Evan running from someone, or, running from something he did? The investigation reopened. In Evan's storage unit, previously unopened, detectives found maps, marked routes between Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee, all handwritten notes. One of them said, "He knows I saw, he'll come back for me." Police now believe Evan may have witnessed something dangerous, something he just couldn't report. So he ran, faked his own death, used Colin Price's body as a stand-in. Burning the body and planting the wallet would mask identification. If Evan planned this, he planned it well. But that leaves one question unanswered. If he's still alive, why call? Why now? Some believe guilt finally caught up to him, others think he wanted to warn someone, or maybe he knew his time was running out. There have been no further calls, no sightings, no confirmed audio, but a final message was posted anonymously on a true crime forum 3 months later. The username? Stillwatching19. Stop digging. You don't want to find what I found. The account vanished the next day. IP address traced to a hotel lobby computer in Chattanooga. Checked in under a fake name. No ID. Security footage? Deleted. To this day, Evan Bledsoe is still considered missing, but no longer legally dead and no longer forgotten. A man presumed dead, a voice from the static, and a mystery that only gets deeper the closer you listen. Like, subscribe, and share if this case shook you. Drop your theory in the comments. Why did Evan vanish? And who or what was he hiding from? This is Vanished Whispers True Crime, because silence always leaves a trail. Gap 3S. Weeks after the final message, a woman came forward. She claimed to have seen Evan at a gas station outside Birmingham. He looked over his shoulder, she said, as if someone was following him. He paid in cash, left in a hurry. The police took her statement, but security footage was missing. The clerk remembered nothing. The woman insisted. He was scared. He told me, don't trust anyone. Gap 3S. Police released a partial transcript from a 911 call made the night Evan disappeared. Dispatcher, 911, what's your emergency? Male voice, he's here. He found me. I can't. Static. Dispatcher, sir, are you safe? Silence. The call ended. The number was traced to a payphone near the car fire. No prints. No witnesses. Gap 3S. In a box of Evan's belongings, police found a torn photograph. 2 men, faces scratched out. On the back, if you see him, run. Forensics found a partial fingerprint, unmatched in any database. The box also contained a hotel keycard from a motel in Georgia. The room had been wiped clean, no trace of Evan, but a single word was carved into the headboard. Listen. Gap 3S. Months later, a podcast listener received a package. Inside a USB drive. Audio file, heavy breathing, footsteps, a voice whispering, "You're looking in the wrong place." The file was traced to a public library in New Orleans. The case remains open. No one knows if Evan is alive, or if someone else is pulling the strings. The mystery endures. The trail grows colder. Or maybe it's just beginning. Detective Arnold Fay receives an anonymous letter. The handwriting is shaky, the words desperate. As he reads, the letter details the events leading up to Evan Bledsoe's disappearance, implicating a close family friend once trusted by all. The confession is raw, heavy with regret and fear, revealing a secret pact made years ago, a promise meant to protect, but now unraveling in the harsh light of truth. The detective's voice trembles as he reads the letter aloud, each word weighing heavier on the room. The family listens in shock, faces pale, hearts racing. Sarah, Evan's sister, is the first to react. She finds the friend, her voice shaking with fury and heartbreak, demanding to know why. Cornered, the friend breaks down, tears streaming down their face. They admit their role in the cover-up, their voice cracking with remorse. "I thought I was doing the right thing. I never meant for any of this to happen." The pain is palpable, the betrayal deep. The confession brings some answers, but leaves the family and the audience with even more questions. The chapter closes in silence, the weight of the truth settling over everyone. The mystery has a new face, but is this truly the end, or just another beginning? As the dust from the confession settles, new questions begin to surface. Through a series of interviews and haunting flashbacks, we delve deeper into the tangled web behind Evan's disappearance. Sarah, relentless in her search for answers, uncovers a trail of financial troubles, hidden jealousies, and a network of lies that bound the family and friends together in secrecy. Detective Fay reconstructs the timeline, each revelation adding a new layer to the mystery. We see how desperation chipped away at trust, leading to the ultimate betrayal. The narrative tightens. Every conversation, every glance, every hidden motive exposed on screen. Tension escalates as secrets come to light, faces once familiar now shadowed with doubt. The audience is left to wonder, who can truly be trusted, and how far would someone go to protect what they love, or fear losing? The truth, it seems, is far more complicated than anyone could have imagined. The truth has been unearthed, but resolution demands one final reckoning. At the old family home, shadows gather as Sarah, Detective Fay, and the accused friend come face to face. The air is thick with years of pain, suspicion, and regret. Voices are raised, accusations and defenses clash in a storm of raw emotion, and then the room falls silent as Evan's voice, preserved in a final recorded message, echoes through the halls. His words bring clarity to the chaos, dispelling long-held misunderstandings and exposing the core of the tragedy. One by one, the walls between the three crumble. Tears are shed, apologies exchanged. As the confrontation reaches its end, justice is served, not only in the eyes of the law, but within the hearts of those left behind. For Sarah and her family, the weight of uncertainty lifts, replaced by bittersweet closure. The echoes of Evan's voice linger, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, the truth will find its way home. As the dust settles and the truth finds its place, the story of Evan Bledsoe gently draws to a close. Yet the questions and echoes of his mystery linger in the quiet corners of our minds. Sarah stands quietly at Evan's grave, the morning sun casting warm light across the headstone. She places a bouquet of wildflowers, her voice soft as she speaks of forgiveness, of letting go, and of embracing the path toward healing. Detective Fay, now retired, sits alone in a quiet park, the weight of the case still present in his thoughtful eyes. He reflects on the journey, the lives forever changed, and the lessons learned about justice and compassion. Within the community, wounds begin to mend. Neighbors gather, sharing stories and support, slowly stitching together the fabric that was torn apart. In a sunlit church basement, Sarah leads a new support group, her voice steady, her purpose clear. Families of missing persons find comfort in shared experience, and hope in the possibility of closure. Though the mystery has been solved, the echoes of Evan's story remain, reminding us that some answers lead to even deeper questions. The pain may never fully fade, but in its place grows resilience, a reminder that even in the aftermath of tragedy, healing is possible. As the screen fades to black, we are left with a powerful truth. From sorrow, strength can rise, and from mystery, reflection. What do you think truly happened to Evan Bledsoe? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Your voice is part of this story's legacy. But what about Evan Bledsoe himself? For a moment, let's step beyond the headlines, beyond the whispers and the evidence, and venture into the labyrinth of his mind. Imagine waking up to a world that believes you are gone. The shock, the isolation, the suffocating fear that every shadow could be a threat, every sound a signal that your secret is about to unravel. In those long, sleepless nights, Evan's thoughts raced in circles. Was he running from danger, or from himself? Memories flickered, faces of those he loved, moments of regret, flashes of guilt. The burden of invisibility weighed heavily, pressing on his chest like a stone. He questioned his choices. Was vanishing the only way to protect those he cared for? Or was it a desperate attempt to escape consequences he could no longer face? Evan's mind became a battlefield, hope against despair, longing for connection against the safety of solitude. Each day brought new doubts, each moment a struggle to hold on to fragments of identity. In the silence, he wrote letters never sent, replayed conversations that could never happen, and dreamed of a future he feared he no longer deserved. This is the hidden cost of disappearing. The world may move on, but the mind remains trapped, haunted by what was lost and terrified of what could be found. Evan's story isn't just about mystery and investigation. It's about survival, sacrifice, and the invisible scars left behind. Now, as we close this chapter, remember, every headline hides a heartbeat, and every mystery is a mosaic of human fear, hope, and longing. Evan's struggle was not just with the world, but with himself. And sometimes the hardest person to face is the one reflected in the mirror. What would you have done in Evan's place? While Evan wrestled with shadows and silence, his sister Sarah was fighting her own battle, one that played out in the harsh light of day. Imagine her world, a brother declared dead, a family shattered, and questions that gnawed at her every waking moment. Sarah's journey wasn't just about finding answers, it was about holding on to hope when everyone else had let go. We see faded photographs flickering across the screen, Sarah and Evan as children, laughter frozen in time. Now those memories are tainted by uncertainty. In her search for truth, Sarah scoured old notebooks, replayed voicemails, and retraced every step Evan might have taken. Each clue was a lifeline, each dead end, a stab of grief. But the search came at a cost. Friends grew distant, unable to understand her obsession. Family dinners became battlegrounds, accusations and tears replacing warmth and comfort. Sarah's determination became both her armor and her prison, isolating her from those she needed most. There were nights she questioned everything, her memories, her instincts, even her sanity. Yet in the quiet moments, Sarah's resolve only hardened. She promised herself she would not let Evan's story end in silence. Through sleepless nights and lonely days, she carried the weight of two lives, her own and the brother she refused to let the world forget. As the camera lingers on Sarah standing alone at the edge of the woods, her silhouette framed by the fading light, we hear her whispered vow, "I will find the truth, even if it breaks me." Sarah's journey reminds us that the search for answers is never just about facts. It's about love, loss, and the courage to face the darkness for someone you refuse to give up on. And sometimes the hardest mysteries to solve are the ones that live within our hearts. Just when it seemed every stone had been turned, a routine review of Evan's personal belongings unearthed something no one expected: a small battered flash drive taped to the underside of his childhood desk. The footage flickers to life-gloved hands carefully peeling away the tape, a close-up of the drive's weathered label, marked only with the initials, DR. As investigators plug it in, the screen pulses with encrypted files. One folder stands out: for Sarah. The tension rises as digital experts race to crack the password, the seconds ticking by like thunder. When the files finally open, a flurry of documents and audio recordings spill out, Messages between Evan and an unfamiliar voice, the conversations laced with urgency and fear. But it's not just the content that sends shockwaves through the team. Metadata reveals the files were last modified days after Evan was declared dead. The mysterious voice mentions a name never before connected to the case, a family friend, Daniel Ross, who had always seemed to hover on the edge of the investigation, helpful, but never fully trusted. Suddenly, the camera cuts to a montage. Daniel's shadowy figure at family gatherings, his presence in the background of old photos, his cryptic text messages that now seem loaded with double meaning. The evidence points to a chilling possibility. Evan may have uncovered something he wasn't meant to find, and Daniel may have had a secret far darker than anyone imagined. As the music crescendos, viewers are left with a haunting question: was Daniel protecting Evan, or silencing him? The investigation is no longer just a search for answers, it's a race against time to unravel a hidden web of betrayal, with Sarah closer than ever to the truth, but also to danger. As the first light of dawn spills across the city, Evan's journey comes full circle, a story marked by heartbreak, resilience, and, at last, a profound sense of hope. In the gentle glow of morning, Sarah stands in Evan's old room. The sunlight, once a reminder of loss, now feels like a quiet promise of healing. Her hands rest on the desk where the truth first emerged. The ache of grief lingers, but it's softened by newfound strength, a strength born from surviving the storm and choosing to move forward. With Daniel Ross finally brought to justice and the shadows of doubt dispelled, Sarah and her family begin to reclaim their peace. The questions that haunted them are answered, and the weight that pressed on their hearts begins to lift. As authorities piece together the final details, the community that once turned away now gathers in unity, offering compassion, understanding, and the warmth of shared humanity. Alone in the quiet, Sarah presses play on Evan's last message, a voice from the darkness, steady and full of love. No matter what happens, don't let fear win. The truth matters, and so do you. Tears fall, but this time they are tears of gratitude, for love that endures, for the courage to face the unknown, and for the hope that now fills the spaces where sorrow once lived. Evan's legacy is no longer just a mystery solved. It becomes a guiding light, a beacon for anyone searching for hope in their own darkness. Transformed by her journey, Sarah finds new purpose. She shares Evan's story, lifts up the voices of the lost, and builds a life defined not by tragedy, but by truth, compassion, and hope. As the music rises and the camera pulls back, we are reminded, even in the deepest shadows, the promise of light endures. The past may be unchangeable, but the future is a canvas, waiting for those brave enough to paint it with hope. Thank you for walking this path with us. If Evan's story has touched your heart, remember, you are never alone. Every voice matters, and there is always light after darkness.